Hey everybody, Lorelia here, and today I want to talk about something that came up during a class that I was doing last night. So I'm currently doing a 4-week class teaching people how they can increase their credit score, remove derogatory information off their credit report. And one of the questions that I got, and not only do I get this a question in my class, but I also get it from people who are just randomly, asking me questions. And one of the questions is that how do I begin to rebuild my credit um, as I'm in this transition of getting out of debt? And I'm not one to pass judgment, but I always ask people, what is your main goal? Once we're clear on what the goal is, then it becomes a matter of, I want you to think about what you're asking me. Because most people are really asking, which is, a conveyor belt that you can no longer get off of. How do I get out of debt to get back in debt? That is what people are really asking. I want to get out of debt to get into more debt. Because I did a video before where I said that we are conditioned to be into debt. And that is why so many people, they're focused on getting out of debt to get into more debt. See, ladies and gentlemen, rebuilding your credit is easy. Don't make it hard. Like I said, there's billions of dollars being made off of people who are in debt. And so that's why I've talked about in videos is that there are habits that people who have far much more money than you, who are richer than you, who are wealthier than you, that know your habits. And what I mean is that they know that the person who got out of debt is looking to get back into debt. And so it's an ongoing cycle of get out of debt to get into debt, get out of debt to get into debt. Now, I know that there are some people who will say, debt is not a bad thing. Eliminate the conversation of getting out of debt and start to begin to leverage debt to build wealth or what have you. Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm definitely part of that conversation. I have studied Robert Kiyosaki, many of those wealth teachers who talk about how you can use debt to be able to leverage it to build wealth. But with that being said, and I always tell people, because there was a few months ago, I did a live stream where a guy had said, how do I use debt to build wealth? That's a whole different conversation for a whole different type of student. A person who is using debt to rebuild, to build wealth or to leverage his or her income is a much more advanced student. See, the person who is plagued by consumer debt, the person who is using credit cards to just get by. Many of the people I deal with are using credit cards to put gas in their car, to get to work, who are using credit cards to put food on their table. See, those individuals, that's a whole different conversation of using debt to be able to build wealth. So for those who are saying, oh, well, no, I get it. I can see why a person wants to get out of debt to get back into debt. That's not the case. These individuals are not doing that. Like I said, that's a more advanced student, because I always say, before you can get to the point of using debt as a vehicle to help you build wealth, are you financially mature enough to do it? Because many people are not financially mature to do it. If you are still being plagued by consumer debt, and consumer debt still has its foot on your neck and you can't get it off, that whole conversation of using debt to start a business, to invest in real estate, to invest in any other type of wealth building vehicle, is not the same for the person who is in debt and saying, I want to get out of debt to get back into debt. I want to get out of debt to get back into debt. Because see, really, those individuals are in a vicious cycle. And that's why I said you have to be very clear on what it is that you do. Now, one of the things that I tell people, because I don't want to make this video too long, is that start with a secure credit card. Because I'm going to tell you this. There are credit repair companies who, as soon as you start rebuilding your credit, increasing your credit score, they're already there providing you with offers for you to get back into debt. And they will tell you, apply for this credit card to help you build your credit. Let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You can go to your local bank, your local credit union, and you can open up a secured credit card. This is what I tell my students. Start there. Depending on the bank, they will say you can start with $3, $5, $1,000. You're using your own money. That money is placed in the account and a credit card is created on your behalf, secured by your money. But even though it's your money, you still have to pay it like a regular credit card. They're still going to report it on your credit report. You're still supposed to be financially responsible and pay it on time and pay it off or what have you. That is a least riskier way to rebuild your credit than to start now handing out your credit, your Social Security number as a way to is a bait switch. Let me see if I can get some credit. Oh, let me see if I'm gonna get some credit. Oh, let me see if I'm gonna get some credit. Because like I said, you're getting in debt. You're getting out of debt to get into debt. Getting out of debt to get into debt. Getting out of debt to get into debt. It's a vicious cycle that goes on and 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 on. So that's really all I have, ladies and gentlemen. I want you to kind of think about that. Are you getting out of debt to get into debt? And are you financially mature to now be able to leverage debt to build wealth? Because like I said, those are two different students, two different conversations. And that's why, you will hear people who say debt is not bad. You're right. Debt's not bad for a person who is financially mature. But if a person is financially immature, they have no idea where money comes from. They're not able to create an income for themselves. They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. They're using credit cards to just live. That conversation is not for them. They have not financially matured enough to take part in that conversation. So that's it, ladies and gentlemen. You want to learn more about me? I have all my links under the video. And I look forward to talking to you basically in the next video. Okay, talk to you then. Bye-bye.